so then they,
What,
they did the cuts.
and CCO is known for live and local,
Yeah.
and now overnights are not.
And it could be just the start, which is sad.
Well, and the description today, and there is an article about you, Al, in today's Star Tribune.
No photo, and you put me on camera.
I
But, see, the newspaper has better taste than you guys.
Well, we are demystifying you. But they have said that they are going to replace it with a show that will run in 4 other markets, and they called it. Instead, they're trying to.
Yeah.
I love how they try to skate syndication.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and lay it out?
Well, I can only quote what my former boss, Wendy, who was a wonderful person, by the way.
Sure.
She just said, it's not really syndication. We're just how did she say it? We're melding. I'm paraphrasing. We're melding 4 stations.
Right.
They're customizing 4 stations.
Customizing. That's what it was.
Yeah.
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck,
I'm thinking.
it's a duck.
It's a duck.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So leading up, backtrack is just a little bit. Or Terry, did you have something still on that same note?
No,
before we move?
I was just wondering, were you always wanting to be a talk show host? How did you start in radio?
Yep.
I was an anchor man on Business Radio Network doing news, and the Gulf War broke out, and I was on from 3 to 6 p.m. Colorado time. And because of my time slot on the news desk, everything that was happening in the Gulf was in our time, because overnight in the Gulf was in the afternoon our time. So I was interviewing admirals and generals and congressmen and senators, and I'd been trying to get a weekend talk show on the network. The president, after hearing this coverage, he said, "We got to get that guy a talk show." And I went, "What a great idea!"
Awesome.
So the war was good for me, and out of that, I had a weekend talk show, and then Business Radio Network bought American Forum, a network that was based out of Boston. And I went to work one day, and we go in the newsroom, and my boss said, "Hey, I need to see you." And he said, "The program director needs to see you." So I went into
That
his
doesn't
office.
feel generally good when you hear
Not
that.
really.
No.
Not really. So I walked in, and they said, "You're no longer in the newsroom." And my heart just sank. And they
Sure.
said, "Starting tomorrow, you're doing a talk show on American Forum." And I said, "Really?" I said, "What's American Forum?" I'd never heard of it. So,
But I'm in.
yeah, and Greg Davis was my producer. We just talked last night, one of my best friends. And so that day we started preparing for the next day's show. And
You scared?
no, I was excited.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, in fact, my first guest who became a regular, not regular, but we had him on maybe 7, 8 times over the years. It was, Iran-Contra was still a hot topic. And so Ali North was our first guest. And, it was a great interview. And I can't remember who the other 2 were, because we had 3 guests on in 3 hours. And would open the lines up, and people could talk to them, and it was great. It was wonderful.
What year was that?
Well, when was the Gulf War?
Oh, well, 91.
91, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started the network at 88,
Okay.
so, yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did the talk show there until 97, and we always said if we had a chance to go to work at CCO, we would do it. And so that opportunity presented itself, and here we are,
Yeah.
or where we were.
You had another show besides your overnight venture. Explain a little bit about that, your other aviation.
Oh, the World of Aviation, it was in the overnight.
Oh,
And
okay.
It ran Wednesday nights, Thursday morning at 1 a.m.
Okay.
And flying is my passion, and anybody who listened to the show knew that, because I just love to fly. And Sherm Bowen, who's now 95 years old, very good friend of mine.
Wow.
He was the original host of the World of Aviation that aired on CCO TV for 28 years. It was the longest running locally produced TV show in the nation. And Sherm called me one day in this deep voice. He said, "Al, got an idea." He said, "I want to get together with you and a woman named Nancy Cuisine Olson." And at that meeting, he said, "I want to give you the World of Aviation and have you move on the radio." So we did that. And we've interviewed some of the neatest people on the face of the earth. So
Might you continue with that concept in
I'm thinking about syndicating the World of Aviation and exploring those options right now. And looks like it could happen. We'll see. A lot of work involved,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as you guys know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's your passion,
Totally.
and if it's your passion,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah.
When it's pretty new, this whole unfortunate experience, not just unfortunate for you, but everybody who's going to miss you terribly on the air. Have you gotten a lot of phone calls and a lot of support?
Yes, yeah, it's been overwhelming, yeah.
Okay.
And, but, the ones that I appreciate the most are my colleagues in the station, that, everybody's called, and it's been wonderful. It's referred to as an unjustified firing, because it's a layoff. And so, yeah, we were number one in the ratings, and we had a lot of sponsors, and so the revenue issue wasn't there. But CBS was just looking at, it was just a cost-cutting measure, which is unfortunate. It's not only me, not only was it me, but the overnight host of KDK in Pittsburgh, and also WBZ in Boston. And those guys have been there for a long time as well.
Henry is expressing his condolences
Yes.
and his disdain for such insensitive handling of both talk on-air people and their audiences.
Jack, go, Henry, go get your saddle.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll go for a
The
ride.
saddle you up.
So, Al, how do you see terrestrial radio going?
You got me.
What's happened to you?
I don't know. I think that, well, that's a great question, and I really don't have an answer to that. I don't have a crystal ball that can tell me. And having done a syndicated show, I understand what that's all about.
Love it on you, sweetheart. Henry is a friendly dog, as anybody can see, but he takes to people, and he does. I swear, he's wanting to tell you to share the love.
He knows I'm a dog lover.
Yes, and we're at a very serious, Henry. Thank you, much. Okay, so
That's part of the show.
yeah, it's kind of
That's
what we do here. We kind of do what happened, and
That is live at the law.
yeah, and live somewhere Al would prefer Henry wasn't, I think, for just a second. Well, with all of this going on and so many changes, I mean, the reasons why some people gravitated toward a CCO is because they sort of lived there. It all seems, and not just the companies and the corporations and things of that nature, it all just seems to be getting broken up in small pieces and shifted into different places. So I'm just wondering, I think we're in, not just with the global economy and everything else, I think we're in this huge shift.
Well, yeah, and it's very simple. The bean counters have taken over. Just like the medical profession, when you got the HMOs, and all of a sudden that medical service became diminished from what it was. You no longer have the doctors making house calls, the family practitioners. The same thing has happened. That's right. The same thing has happened in our industry. Is that now it's not. We're no longer operating as a community service, which is really unfortunate.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
it used to be that stations were just so involved in their community, and for the most part they still are, but not the way that they were. And this is just indicative of that. And once again, having done a syndicated show, I understand where they're coming from. They're saving a boatload of money.
In most radio and television shows, they go to break because they need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
We go to break at Live at the Loft because Henry needs to go potty.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and we'll be back with more of Al Malmberg in just a couple minutes.